Yeah. Where are we, Johnson? Are we in the building? Yeah, we here. Okay. All right. Make it happen. Make it happen. What's going on, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. We are live, various places. It ain't why it's not copying. Oh, man, screw it. Y'all doing good, man. How's everybody doing, man? Give it up for my moderators. Black Mamba, Ebony, and Buck Bewley. What's up, man? Okay. Yeah, come on now. Where's everyone? Don't all clap at the same time, damn it. What's up? We good? I'll fix that. So we are live here on the Tim Black Show. We're also on X. I'm trying to get us on Facebook. I'll just post a link on Facebook. And the people are in the building. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack, the people that support this show to keep this show going. You guys are amazing. I'm glad you stuck around. You stuck around after I did everything I could to get rid of you. Some of you said, you know what? I'm staying anyway. I'm staying anyway, Tim Black. What is happening, man? Happy President's Day. Yeah, happy President's Day. You know what's funny? It's funny that we got people that, I'm hearing the sentiment across the internet on the Democrat side of the game. They all saying, God, I guess I could say happy President's Day if we actually had a real president. Man, these people are funny, man. As if things were great under Biden. As if things were great. You don't know what was going on under Biden because no one talked about any of his shit. You wouldn't have any clue. They're paid not to tell you things about Democrats. We still don't get it. Still don't get it. You know what? I understand it. I mean, I guess if I didn't have time to look at the news or actually dig for stories and look up information and see who's lying and at what time, a lot of times both sides are lying. It all depends on when you start looking. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see two people fighting, and if you look at one moment, you'll see one guy on top, the other guy looks like he's a victim. He's on the bottom getting punched in the face. Close your eyes, open your eyes again in about 2 more seconds or 15 seconds or so. It'll be reversed. You'll see the guy that was on the bottom, and you see that guy on top kicking the guy on the bottom, the other guy that was on the top. It'll be, switch. So that depends on when you look. And just so happens, when the president's in the White House, all you ever see is one side. That's because the media is 90% controlled by liberal, corporate liberal. Okay, that's why. But wrongly, you think, oh, Tim Black just loves taking a dump on Democrats. Because I know the game, dog. You don't know the game. What's sad is the people that don't want to know. They rather live delusional. No, what's even worse are the people that say, okay, Tim, what if you're right? Now what? But then you know, right? You become a smart person. Once upon a time, everybody smoked cigarettes. At least most of the country did. Then they found out cigarettes are bad for you. Now, you can keep smoking them. You know what I'm saying? Or now that you got new information, what could you do? What could you do? Smoke cigars, Tim. That's what we could do. You get my point, right? No. We can stop smoking. You now know, at least now you know the damage is being done to you. And of course you can still be like my friends that were like, I gotta die from something. Yeah, it don't have to be that though. You know what I'm saying? You could pick something else. How about, I don't know. I don't know. Slip and fall like everybody. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get morbid. What I'm saying is, this has been my life with politics, and these are the people that push back on me on a daily basis. But nothing, family, nothing is like the black Democrats calling me a sellout for not supporting Joe Biden. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than that. A black man calling a black man a sellout for not supporting the Democratic Party. It's crazy when the Democratic Party is not quite as white as the Republican Party, but I mean, come on, Johnson. You name the leadership of the Republicans and the Democrats, you come up with white folks. See, they don't even want to hear the reality. But see, they have black commentators. I don't know if it's better that there are black people that are helping destroy the country or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's better that you got black people, black faces in high places on the Democrat side that aren't doing shit for you either. So it's like, how's that better? I'd almost be better if we didn't have any power at all, and then at least we wouldn't be contributing to our own demise. And don't get me wrong, everybody's being demised. We're all going through hell. I mean, we talk a lot about race on this channel because, I'm a black man, black house, black wife, black kids, black hat, black shoes. It's what it is. And that's a reality, and I won't deny these things. But money's got a lot to do with a lot of things. I mean, half of the complaints I see morons make, they're really talking about money. You know what I'm saying? They're not really talking like, when you assume black people get money, they want to move away. Yeah, to a more expensive, more affluent area. Like when you were in a beat up car, you wanted to buy a new car. That didn't mean you didn't, You know what I'm saying? It was like you wanted to move to a bigger house when you had money, or maybe get a house. If you could find a nice neighborhood anywhere, you'd be happy. I mean, it's just like the narratives that people have are so whack. So I'm aware that we got a lot of work to do. And I'm down for it, man. I'm down for the work, fam. I mean, there's a lot of different things I could do. I was in the IT industry. I was doing that. I mean, this is way more fulfilling. I don't know what you guys do for a living, you know what I'm saying? But I can tell you that trying to go up against the machine every day is interesting. It's a challenge. So here we go, man. Happy President's Day, man. Shout out to those people that are not crazy enough to believe that our problems all started when Trump got elected. And shout out to the people that believe that Trump ain't gonna fix all our problems. Because we got delusional people on both sides of the ball, man. I hate to say it to you. It just is what it is. But always remember, half the country doesn't vote. So no matter how strongly you feel, there are people going, screw this, man. Screw this. I don't know what I'm doing here. They're doing something. Loading a gun or rolling something or pouring a drink. They're doing something. Cutting on the game. I don't know. But we get so polarized, man. We get so divided on this politics stuff. We forget, man. And a lot of people don't even vote, man. They don't even. They so checked out of politics. So it's not even everybody. You think you know everything. You think you know everything. You think you got it all figured out, and you forget most people they don't agree with you. Half the country that votes disagree with you. There you go. That's my point. Half the country that votes disagree with you, no matter what side you pick. And then there's a whole nother 40%, 45% who don't even cast ballots. They like, man, screw this stuff. So there. That puts it in perspective, doesn't it? A little bit, because so we want to talk about people, man. We want to talk about truth, reality, We want to talk about facts and want to talk about. Now, I'm a political commentator, man. I commentate also on culture, you know what I'm saying? So this ain't a news show. I want to say what's up to my people, man, that have been with me long enough to realize I mean, but I mean well, and tonight we will be very mean. In fact, we're going to be brutal. Tonight will be brutal, but it's necessary. Yeah, man, people gotta accept reality. Y'all ready for some reality checks? Now remember, this show is brought to you by the Tim Black Show Wolfpack team. This is a Team Black. These are the people that keep the lights on around here. Go to jointimblack.com, Tim's Take Live. Join us, fam. We got anything? We got any graphics up here? Yeah, we gotta support that. Damn it. We're throwing out Maryland finally, man. I think that most of the snow is finally going away. I'm hoping we won't get any more snow, fam. I don't know how you're doing, wherever part of the country you're in, or if you're outside the country. Yeah, join us, man. Become part of this, because it's on us, fam. You know, this is all on us. We gotta stand up, man. If you got a vision for the country, we need more leaders, man. We need more people speaking up. So grab your mic, grab your cell phone. You know, this phone is good enough. I hear people all the time. People email me, they're like, Tim, how do I get started doing content? I said, point your phone at your face and talk. Put your phone at your face and talk. That's how I got started, man. Just do that. I used to be in a room in a house, and I just propped this. I didn't even have a stand for my phone. And the mic, I used the mic on board on the phone and pointed it at my face and tilted it on a box. And it was great, man. It was great. That was 2014. It had great sunlight coming through the window. That's it. I didn't edit. I didn't do shit. I just said, hey, how y'all doing? My name is Tim Black. Never do that, by the way. Just start talking about whatever you're going to talk about. No one cares who you are until they know they care about your content. So don't tell people who you are. They don't care. Save that. Don't tell people who you are until you're very close to the video. I'm Tim Black. Y'all be good now. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, we need more truth tellers, Johnson. We need more people willing to stand on business. Speaking of standing on business, let's jump into our business. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Come on, Tim. Come on, Tim. Give him the business, Tim. Hope everything went. It went. We are ready. We're locked and loaded, Johnson. Yeah. Get a couple. Let me clear up my screen a little bit here. All right. Y'all ready? Let's rock, man. Let's get this going, family.
Next up with Tim Black.
The school is absolutely done. The school is fully done. The school is completely done. And on Tuesday, because government is closed on Monday to celebrate white supremacy presidency. The government is closed on Monday to celebrate white supremacy presidency. But on Tuesday, I'll be contacting the city to request an inspection of the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Elementary School and Gym. Brothers and sisters, thank you for those of you who stood with me. Not the fakes and the phonies. Not those who act like you supported me but didn't trust me, didn't believe me. You listened to the struggle streamers and the scammers. You believed them.
Next.
Yeah, man. Yeah, at this point, Umar, I don't think anybody gives a damn if your school ever opens. I don't think people trust you at all now. Not at all. I think the bus left. Elvis has left the building. James Brown is gone. Even MJ's in the upper room. Family, it's a wrap. I know it doesn't feel like it right now because you're able to record and we see you, but you are a ghost. Yeah, you no longer exist in the earthly realm. Your name no longer rings out as somebody who was, you're a shell of your former self. You are a ghost-like person. You're a zombie now. You're a walker. That's what it is, fam. You no longer matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, and that's being as brutally honest, man. I want to get it to you straight, Johnson. Man, you took people on a journey of excuses and stories and nonsense. And you're a sham wow. Dude, it's pathetic, man, what's happened. I'm just going to be real with you, fam. You say people were lame because they didn't trust you. No one should trust anyone. Trust is earned. What'd you ever do to earn people's trust? People ask you about money they gave your ass, and you get mad. People give you money and then say, hey, we gave you money 5 years ago. What up? And you would get mad and attack them for asking what you did with their money. Then other people who thought about supporting you saw how you treated people who gave you money, not that you did anything for it. Fam, you don't even have a weekly show. You know what I'm saying? You are so lazy. All you do is go around the country picking up money. You don't even have a weekly podcast or blog or news article or newsletter or group or nothing. You have nothing material. You pop in and tell people crazy shit. You run around chastising people for who they chose to marry or date. You do put out memes. Man, tell the truth, man. You're just a content creator who's a lazy content creator at that. You don't even really have your own YouTube channel. You don't have your own Sirius FM radio program. You don't have your own anything. You don't even really have your own, not really. You got people to help you do stuff, but you know what I'm saying. You don't, fam, you are a joke. You are a pathetic joke. And it would be funny, but it's funny sad, not funny ha-ha. You understand what I'm saying? Because the fact that there have been a lot of black women, and I think it's mostly black women, who were so enamored by the opportunity, for some whatever reason, being susceptible, being vulnerable to someone like you who talked a good game about their sons who they may be raising alone. The occasional black woman who feels less than sure of themselves or maybe looking for love or looking for validation. You were always there with a vacuous compliment, a pointless compliment that did nothing for him but made him feel good, like a sugar rush of Queens and my hazelnut and butter pecan, like all this pandering bullshit. Then when you weren't doing that, you were talking down to black people, telling black people they need to send more money and focus on making more money, and everything was about money to give you eventually. To give you. And what's bad about it, you didn't start out this way. You said, I don't remember. In the beginning, it seemed like you were just a brother with a gift of gab that was talking good stuff, who was talking about uplifting and empowering Black America, and you seemed like you were on the right path, but somewhere along the way, you kept seeing too many butts. Too many sisters with nice asses and nice jobs and cars, and you just got distracted. Then I guess you saw yourself as being a mini celebrity or something, and that only made your ego bigger, and you just became an untamed, immoral scam artist. And I don't know, man. People won't tell you, they laugh at it. I don't think it's funny, fam. I think it's embarrassing, fam. You end up hurting the very people you were supposed to be helping. You end up taking money out the black community, not putting money in it. You ended up not uplifting people, but becoming a lightning rod for controversy and causing more division and more stupidness to flow around the black community. You became just a clown. You're a cartoon at this point. You realize that? You're almost as bad as that black dude that goes around eating food and flexing muscles. You're almost as bad as some of the worst conservatives that don't believe that racism exists and says dumb shit to tap dance for a couple shingles. You're almost as bad as empty-headed Democrats who complain and blame everything and compare it to slavery and Jim Crow and lynchings. I mean, you're just as bad as all those people. You're almost as bad as Roland Martin, man, at this point. Now, how'd that happen? You went from being a Roland Martin killer to being almost as bad as him. That took doing. That, fam, you're a tragic story, fam. You're a train wreck. You're a diabolical, scheming, scam artist, train wreck, in my opinion. That's what you are. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't want to invest 20 cents in finding out. I will not spend a quarter to find out because you dug the hole. Now you dig yourself out of it. Go help black kids. Go help little boys. Go help these little black boys that need this help. Don't ask for another dollar. Get out and work. Get out and grind. You could have wrote a book a month. What else are you doing? What else are you possibly doing, dog? What else you got to do? Seriously, fam. What else have you got to do? What else? Nothing. You know, as long as I've been doing content, you've been doing this content. And what have you done with that? What have you done? I finished the school. I told y'all. 7 years, dog. 7 years. Man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Be ashamed of yourself, man. Seriously. If you had, you know what? If you were a decent brother, you'd be ashamed of yourself. You would go away. You would have went away a year ago and came back with the school grand opening day with a press, holding a press conference as you bring in students. That's what a real man would do at this point. A stand-up man, a stand-up brother. That's what they would do. They would not come back here without even, dude, you up here talking about what it's gonna be. And I'm gonna do this. I'm a chameleon. That's what I'm saying? I mean, fam, everybody just entertains you because you're a cartoon. You're Mr. Magoo. You know what I'm saying? You're Daffy Duck, Charlie Brown. You know what I'm saying? You are the Woody Woodpecker, bruh. You're not real. You are a cartoon character, man. And shame and I'm sad for all the sisters whose money you done chiseled, your skin flint, your weasel. Yeah, man, and I mean that too. I mean that. This is sad. You know, you talk stuff about Charleston White, and I get why you say you won't debate him, because unlike you, at least he gets paid because he's doing his content. He's not up here talking about he's building a school and collecting money off of people out of the good natures of their hearts to help their communities. You won't talk to him. Shit, he shouldn't talk to you. Nobody should talk to you. Everybody that invites you on their platform is just looking to make some money off the buffoonery of you. And I'm sorry, man, no one told your ass this. Somebody should have told you this 5 years ago, and I should have told you 5 years ago. I remember when you was beefing, and I don't know, man. I could go on and on, fam. My point is made. This is my opinion. Prove me wrong. Don't talk until you got proof. When you bringing the kids into school, in fact, don't you say shit. I want the kids who enrolled at their winter break, their semester break, for you to hold a conference and those kids to say how great it is. That'll be the time for you to bow. Your time is not to bow. Everything that comes out of your mouth is bile. You're wasting our time, and we demand our time back. Reclaiming my time. Hell, I shouldn't even give you this time on this broadcast. That's how bad it is, man. Yeah, that's it, man. Last thing, shut up. Shut all the way up. Don't announce anything else. Put the butts in the seats. Get the kids in the school. Have the teachers teach the kids. Then, when it's break time and the kids have been learning and you have a track record and you can show us receipts, then you show those kids. And you let other people say how great you are. Let them tell the world how amazing the school is. Not you. Not you. You shut up. Stop stealing from my people, dog. Stop stealing from my people and lying to my people, you scumbag. Sit your ass down. Big dumb goofball. We ain't got time for this. We ain't laughing with you, we laughing at you. We tired of you, clown. Somewhere and sit down. Your dumb ass. I don't know, man, this got more angry as I was talking. Talking to a grown-ass man who think everybody's an idiot. Then want to flip it and make it seem like we don't respect or love each other. You a thief, dog. You a thief. You a scumbag. At least a thief has the decency to use a gun. You use our hearts and our love of our people against us. Show ass down. Pimp, sit down. Dirty ass, punk ass pimp. All right, man. Y'all ready to keep going, man? I mean, everybody just jokes with this guy. Everybody allows him to. How long is this going to go on, John? So we're going to allow him to do this? Are we ever going to? Well, I said it. I said it for y'all. Next. Tim, you ain't have to be so hard on him. Yes, I did.
Up with Tim Black.
What are your thoughts on Zohran Mamdani?
I think he's one of the most exciting people in American politics, bar none. The joy with which he ran his campaign, he just looked genuinely excited to be with the people that he wanted to serve, and so often turning the microphone over to them. I mean, when's the last time a politician willingly gave up a microphone to somebody else who wanted to speak? But I think he sought to listen to and learn from those who he wanted to lead in New York, and he presented these really bold, clearly defined solutions to their problems. This is the most expensive city to live in America. Hey, what if we freeze the rent if you're eligible for it? How about buses are free? You can't get fresh and healthy food for your kids. What if the city got involved in helping you to get that done? There wasn't,
Look, you're getting really excited. I just want to stop you right now. I don't know if you saw, the New York Post just dropped, this news article, but I mean, we can lift this from the interview if you want. Zohran Mamdani's mom has an apartment that is worth $2 million. So he might have grown up in an apartment that has more than one bathroom.
God forbid.
Next up with Tim Black.
Hold on, guys. I want to look up this guy. Y'all ready? All right, hold on, guys. My bad. All right, here we go. I forget how much. Okay, so Beto O'Rourke was asked questions about, he was talking about Mamdani and how great Mamdani is. Beto O'Rourke is a waste of whiteness. Beto O'Rourke is a waste of whiteness, and he's also a scumbag, and I thought he was gone. I thought we were done with Beto. Who allowed him to come back into the discourse? Who allowed this guy to reappear? This is the same moron in 2020 jumping on top of desks, being a worst actor in politics. Just pathetic. A big waste of money, big waste of time. Said anything to pander to people, to the Latinos and everything. And of course he would not have a problem with Mamdani being a big-ass hypocrite. Wants to control rent after being in a $2 million apartment. I mean, naturally, of course you could say, well, those things don't seem to line up. Because they don't line up. It's like somebody telling you to be celibate, but meanwhile they got a harem full of women. Telling you, what you need to do. Eating a pork rib, talking about you need to go vegetarian. But you need one. And that's the whole thing, man, about the hypocritical people. But Beto O'Rourke is even worse than that, because even the host of the show, I forget who he is. I've seen him, I forget his name. But he knows Beto O'Rourke is a rich kid. Well, he was a rich kid. You know what I'm saying? Beto O'Rourke is by all standards wealthy. Just like Mamdani was wealthy, or family had a lot of money. Okay? You don't have a $2 million apartment and be working class. All right? So it is what it is. And that's why Beto won't have a response that holds Mamdani to any type of standard, and he went on to just dismiss it. And the host knew it too. Now, I didn't watch the whole clip because I know I'm not insane. I'm not gonna torture myself to listen to an interview of Beto O'Rourke. I just hope that he will leave. And this will be it. But this is what you want. This is what Democrats want. They like liars who say the type of lies they like. Just like Republicans like liars who say the type of lies they like. Everybody wants their own version of the truth, of reality. You know what I'm saying? But Beto O'Rourke is one I thought we got away with, that we were finally rid of. Like scurvy. Scurvy once a time was a very dangerous ailment. People caught it. Jesus. God rest their souls. But at some point we hoped that we conquered scurvy. Mumps. You know what I'm saying? But then here it comes back. There's a flare-up in some remote town in Arkansas. Everybody's on high alert. That's sort of the way I feel when I hear that Beto O'Rourke's out here talking again. Not only is he's not doing his own podcast, he's been invited as a guest on other podcasts. What on earth would he have to talk about them? Here I am covered it. Well, not anymore, I'm not. That's it. I'm done. Democrats like wasting money because the money ain't in the win. That's what you got to get. Here goes the trick, guys. There are people that run for office with no intentions of winning shit. They run for office because it's a lifestyle. They get to write everything off on their taxes. They get to raise money that's not theirs. They live off money that's not their own money. And they get to hide all their assets into the thing, right? So it is sort of like, Ponzi scheme. They run and run and run. And whether they win ever, they still won. When they lose, they win. You understand what I'm saying? And some of them, last thing they want to do is win because they didn't have to do some actual work. It's a charade, fam. It's a scam. Beto O'Rourke is one of those people. The receipts are brutal. Mamdani and Beto O'Rourke are basically the same people, but the difference is Mamdani was the complexion for the protection from the collection in New York City. You saw the people voted for him. He hadn't done anything up to that point that would make anybody think he could do anything, right? Nothing. But he becomes mayor. Why? Because all the immigrants wanted an immigrant. Now they have him. They didn't care if it didn't make sense. Little rich boy talking about poor people problems. Up to this point, hadn't really done anything for poor people problems, but it didn't matter because it sounded good. And that's what's happening now. And so what has to happen is a lot of people got to get hurt. That's what's got to happen for people to learn. That's the only thing we learn. That's how we learn. Pain. I forget the amount of money that Beto O'Rourke spent running and losing. It's right up there with the amount of money Jamie Harrison lost. Or the amount of money that Kamala Harris lost. Do you think any of those three people who all lost elections, do you think they're hurting for money? Do you think those three, Beto O'Rourke, Jamie Harrison, Kamala Harris, does it look like they're hurting for cash? That's my point. It's a racket. Wake up. Wake up. Next.
Next up with Tim Black.
Not only our Muslim communities, but African communities, Asian communities, Hispanic communities, and the wave still continues. It's not going to stop, nor should we want it to stop. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things I think we can be most proud of. So there's a second thing in that black box, an unrelenting stream of immigration, nonstop. Folks like me who are Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
Do you have one last question? I have one last question. Do you?
Yo, check this out. I don't know how that got in there, but yeah, man, we're gonna have to say some harsh truth here tonight. How many of y'all black folks think this is good? I want to know how many of y'all think it's good. How many of y'all think it's bad? I haven't, let me just put it to you like this. Okay, so the Democratic Party, their plan is to make the country mostly immigrant. I mean, he just said it. When I'm talking about the border, when I'm talking about the influx of immigrants, and you're coming at me like I'm saying something crazy, that was a sitting president. He was president when he was saying that. You didn't hear him say that's the goal. He said that was the goal, dummy. He said the goal is to make it all immigrants. Here's my thing. Every time I turn around, I got black folks saying things like, "You're a white supremacist." We just had that Muppet Toure going and saying that immigrants are great, and of course, all of them love repeating this in support of immigrants because that's the party line. That's what the Democrats want. The president, their last Democratic president, enabled humongous amounts of immigrants to come across the border. Then when he saw maybe he got too far, he tried to reel it back in. He did a lot of People don't know that Biden did a lot of deportations the last year in office because he was planning to run. So he tried to clean it up. Just wasn't enough. But here's the thing, Johnson. The black people that say, I'm off because I'm calling this out, I think a lot of them mean well, but some of them don't understand. Those immigrants don't align with black Americans. In fact, fam, one of the main criticisms that the African diaspora people make about black Americans, foundational black Americans, and when I say, and see, that's why it's important to make the distinction, right? Because non-immigrant. We could just say non-immigrant black Americans. That means black Americans that have been here 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations, or some who are indigenous, meaning here before the country was a country. They see us, non-immigrant black Americans, as too white. Sort of like in New York. They wanted Mamdani because Mamdani was an immigrant. The new immigrant wave does not respect black Americans who are foundational black Americans. They respect immigrants. And those immigrants aren't really black. They just get called black when they get here. But they really are Nigerians, Ghanaians, Congolese, Venezuelans, Ecuadorians, Chinese, Japanese, Ukrainian, whatever, but it's not, you understand what I'm saying? So my thing is we got a lot of people that believe that this will somehow make us stronger. Who is us? It'll make maybe the dollar go further for the rich. Maybe some corporations will be able to hire the latest wave of immigrant to work at cheaper wages. But you know who's going to be a pain in the ass? The non-immigrants. Because they'll remember a time when they got paid real money. They'll remember a time when you owned a house, right? They still harken back to a time when we owned things and we had privacy and we ran the country, it looks, at least it appeared so. It's becoming something far different than that. But my question to you is, why do you think this is good? I know why immigrants think it's good. They get to come over to another country, mainly a country that's probably more than likely had a hand in disrupting their country. I get all that. Wish I could fix that for you. Don't have a magic wand around, right? Totally wrong to destabilize other countries, right? Totally wrong, not co-signing that. But my thing is that me being here, me being a non-immigrant black American with families and kids and roots, and this is where all of my family's from. How does it benefit us? Or you think we're just grandfathered into some coalition with these people? That's what you think that? You think that? The first thing they say is no black. No black. Me no black. That's the first thing they tell me. I'm not black. I'm here on studies. I think we got a lot of people who have some misdirected allegiance. I'm not saying I got all the answers, but I'm asking all the right questions, family. And all I'm saying is, how you think this helps you? You think Joe Biden's trying to help us? Is that what you think? You think Joe Biden really has our interests at heart? Or is he fighting for the ruling class? Is he fighting for working class? Is he fighting for black people? 40% of Americans, 40% of Americans can't afford a $400 emergency. You think Joe Biden's fighting for that? What did he do that made you get that impression he was fighting for that? He was never fighting for that. You think him wanting to bring in and change the demographics of the country, you think that was to help us? To help you? Yeah, there's a reason why I got so much concerted pushback. It's my voice started getting louder and louder on immigration. It's the reason why. It's not because I'm kooky. They heard Joe Biden say this. They know what he said. They could read numbers. They might not want to be honest, but they could read. They could hear. Most of them can hear pretty good. They stopped calling and stopped hanging and stopped being friendly, right? Because I was right. And that rightness goes against what the party is that they're either with or they need to stay cool with. The last thing they need is a toxic black man saying real shit on the airwaves. Joe Biden said it. Is that my fault? There's a lot of, openly, is that my fault that there are going to be people that agree with me who you dislike? I'm not on hate. It's not because I hate anybody. But my point is that if you're a part of a group of people that haven't had a fair shake in this country, how do bringing in other people in and undermine our position further help us? And do you really think immigrants who are coming to this country from their country, some of them third world countries, why do you think when they get here, they're coming here to help you? Family. If I was, I'm trapped in the wilderness. Me and my family are lost. We need food, shelter, a safe place out of the elements, away from the wild animals. You open your door. You let us in. What am I there to do? I'm there to be safe, to get from you, to get safety, food, shelter for my family, right? Oh, I didn't come there to help you grow your crops. I didn't come there to help you beautify your landscape. I didn't come there to be your friend. I'm here because I need help and you're there to help. The people living in La La Land, it's fine. It's fine to live in La La Land. But I'm not going to live there with you. We all got to see reality. And all I'm saying is, Black America does not have time for the bullshit. We got to be smarter than this. You can't see it coming. You don't hear this. That's the sound of the guillotines. What else does it take? Joe Biden was very honest. He said it proudly, plainly. He was not missing words. He wasn't hiding it. But unfortunately, when Joy Reid had her program and she could have been standing up for us, she wasn't. Why? You think it's an accident in her family or immigrants? Don Lemon, who everybody's calling a freedom fighter, he's a voice of free speech. When Joe Biden was saying this shit about basically replacing everybody in the country and making immigrants was Don Lemon the brave soul? Was he champion for Black Americans? No. No, he still won't talk about it. I'm just saying, because everybody keeps saying how these people are so great. They have platforms. And the sitting president basically was talking about the erasure of us and nothing. But okay, fine. You want to be the loser and pretend that somehow helps us. Like I said, I don't have all the answers, but I got all the questions. And all I'm saying is, how does this benefit you? I know you think, oh, God, I'm a progressive. It's morally right that we get rid of white Americans. They keep saying Black people be afraid because once they stop going after undocumented immigrants, they're going to come after you. There's no logic that supports that. But a lot of people keep saying it. I keep hearing it all across the internet. What about once they get rid of white Americans, they go after Black Americans? Maybe the goal is to have no real Americans, just immigrants that they exploit for pennies on the dollar. Who aren't used to, pesky stuff like rights. Who they don't owe anything to. Who don't harken back to a time of home ownership, 2 kids, a dog, a white picket fence. The American dream of home ownership. Maybe, I'm just saying, fam, I think some of us need a reality check. A brutal one. A wake-up call. All right, let's keep going, family. Let's keep going. All right. And I know it's rough, right? That's a tough way to go, Tim Black, man. You are being so mean. No, man, I'm being meaningful. I'm saying you need to think about these things. I'm telling you, are they going to start deporting you? Well, what if I say they're going to start getting rid of your powers? They're already trying to extend votes to undocumented immigrants. You don't think that's the play, Johnson? Really? Why have people here if you don't want them to help you win elections? You're a party, right? You're a party. Hold on a second, guys. You're a political party. There's only 2 major parties. You mean to tell me you let 5 to 10 million people come across your border and you don't want those people to help you win elections? Go. Now, it's okay to be crazy, but then you got to be stupid too. Does that make any sense to you? You really think the Democrats haven't thought about this? It never crossed their minds. Really? Is that what we said? All right, let's keep going. I don't know, man. Some of us, man, I don't know. Some of us are not. Some of us aren't built for this world. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't survive. Your survival is against the rules of nature if you can't figure this shit out. Here we go, y'all.
Because I want to make sure that we
I
get
do
our
have
next
one
guest
question
on.
about accountability, and I'll put my cards on the table. I'm against fascists and MAGA and Donald Trump, and I want Democrats to win, but I want the right Democrats to win. And I remember the YouGov poll that came out after the 2024 election said the main reason why Democrats stayed at home was their displeasure with the genocide that's happening in Gaza. And what we've seen is AIPAC. AIPAC now has spent $2 million attacking a moderate-leaning Democrat, Tom Malinowski, a Democrat, in the special House election in New Jersey 11th District. And we got a progressive Latina, Representative Mejia, who won, who, by the way, says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Well, listen, everyone's going to have to make their individual decisions. My view as it relates to Democratic incumbents, first of all, is that I will continue to stand by every single one of them, whether that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the one hand, or the most conservative, moderate Democrat on the other, who's sitting in the Trump district and at all points in between, right? That's what I'm going to do as House Democratic leader. Now, in terms of how people individually fundraise, I'm proud of the fact that my average contribution amongst the millions of dollars that I've been working hard to raise for my own reelection that I use to help elect Democrats in other parts of the country is $27 per contributor. That's my average contribution. That's probably the lowest in the Congress. And so now everyone is going to raise money from their own constituents in different ways, and their own constituents are going to have a variety of different perspectives on a variety of different issues. But make no mistake, there's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, and we're seeing that right now. I know some people like to project otherwise. How one can see the horrors of what has been inflicted on the American people since January 20th of last year and conclude otherwise, or want to try to suggest that there's no difference, in one's quality of life. When I go to Bedford-Stuyvesant or Brownsville or East New York or Canarsie or the West End of Coney Island, people know that their life is being made markedly worse because of who's in office right now, both in the White House and the House.
Well, Representative, respectfully,
and we're determined to do something about
just
that.
a quick follow-up. So that means, will you stop taking money from AIPAC?
I'm going to continue to raise money in the same way that I've been raising it, where the average contribution from millions of people across the country is $27 per contributor.
We are out of time. I had more questions, but we have to get our next guest on. Thank you so much, Representative Hakeem Jeffries. Please come back because I have some more questions about gerrymandering and about the November election protection, but I have kept our next guest waiting too long. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time.
Look forward to it.
Thank you. Let me bring on.
Lord have mercy. Oh, Hakeem, man, you need to go ahead and put a hit out on dude. He has some of your old homies, man. I know he wanted to jump through the screen. You and I can go outside. Hakeem Jeffries is he takes a lot of money from AIPAC. Don't let the smooth taste fool you with the $27 thing. Yeah, the average donation, because it's a lot of those, the AIPAC donation is bigger. All right, so from 1990 to 2024 election cycles combined, Jeffries ranks among the top recipients of money from pro-Israel industries, interest groups, with a total of $1.7 million. The only two people that beat him are Ted Cruz and Steny Hoyer. This guy's talking about, hey, I'm not influenced by the money. Cut it out. Wow. One thing I take with a grain of salt, and you should take with a grain of salt, this whole thing there. Oh man, everybody's staying home because of Gaza. That's not why people stayed home. Maybe that's why progressives stayed home, goofy. You know, progressives this big, it's only like this many progressives in the country. You know, from I used to be rocking with those guys. I visit them. I was a person that was in the field doing rallies and stuff. Ain't that many progressives in the country, Johnson. Most people didn't vote because access, they had other shit to do. Their dog died. They had to work that day. They just weren't interested in their candidates. They were they're apathetic against politics. Their vote don't count. They don't feel like both sides suck. These are all reasons. I mean, I got a whole list of reasons why people didn't vote. This guy's making it all about Gaza. We weren't bombing Gaza. We were bombing other parts of the Middle East. I mean, Johnson, this is what's crazy. America's been bombing people ever since. But it's only at certain times that we really give a shit who we bombing. You know, because under any president, you can find bombs dropping on people across the globe. Under Obama, he dropped all the bombs. He dropped 26,000 bombs in one term. He dropped bombs till we ran out of bombs, and we still got people saying, we helped Israel bomb the Palestinians. Yeah, it's bad. We do bad things all the time. We're bad when it comes to war. We're a warlike country, a warlike nation. That's what we do. But it's just the progressives decided to be upset about this. I'm not saying they shouldn't be upset about it. But I'm saying they made sure that you be upset about this, but they're dropping bombs on mofos all over the globe forever. That doesn't excuse Hakeem. Hakeem's a hack. He always has been. Right along with Pelosi and Steny Hoyer and Ted Cruz, and there you go. I just noticed a lot of Democrats are being selective with their outrage towards certain Democrats, when it's the entire system. Yeah, they'll point fingers at Schumer and at Jeffries, but all of them suck. And don't say people that are complaining now, they're not going to leave the Democratic Party. They're going to stay right there and be right at the faucet trying to get a drink. Yeah, you don't fool anybody with the nonsense. We see you. We see you. You talk tough, and then what do? You stay right there, hands like cups, try to get the next raffle ticket, try to hit bingo on your bingo card. You're not fooling anybody except those people who are dim, who don't pay attention to Dems being hypocrites. Fam, it's what's going on. Yeah, it's horrific that there's a country running our country. That another country runs our country. That's crazy. That is insane, fam. That is insane. What's also insane that the military-industrial complex runs our country. And big pharmaceuticals run our country. We are a corporation. We got a country full of sellouts at the highest levels of selloutness. And that's what we have, and that's the problem. Hakeem Jeffries is horrific. He's a scam artist. He's an empty suit. He's a long line of empty suits. And all I'm saying, I got no problems calling out the empty suit guy. But don't pretend when you run and hide behind the other empty suits. Why aren't you talking about Jamie Harrison? Why aren't you talking about Jim Clyburn? Why aren't you talking about Maxine Waters? Why aren't you talking about Amy Klobuchar, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, all of them, sellouts? Because they're in this system, they're all sellouts. And if you are in this system, you're a sellout too. Fam, we are grown-ups. We're adults, right? If you had a show on MSNBC for damn near a decade, and you weren't coming on the show every night talking like this, making it so nobody would have the balls to come on your show because you might ask a tough question, how could you not be called a sellout? So what happens is people, they come up with, they had these big ideas of how they want the country to run, and then all they do is make excuses for selling out. There's a lot of people that would be dying. No, you said if you're going to get a show on MSNBC, Joy Reid, then that show should question authority, should challenge both sides of the aisle, and be tough, and be uncompromising, and fight for the people. What you do, shut up. It just went after the Republicans over there. That's what she did. Instead of you going, that's hypocrisy, that's disgusting. You're a scumbag for that, Joy. You go girl, get him, girl. It's because you're a moron too. You brought into it too. Everybody is doing, all these people. If you weren't a sellout, you would not be on MSNBC. You cannot be on MSNBC or CNN and not play ball. You can't be in the Democratic Party and not be a part of the scam. Not at that level. You could be a local person fighting for your community, yes. But when you get this big as Hakeem Jeffries, come on, Johnson. Are we being real or are we being real? So yeah, this is a gotcha moment. And I'm cool, man. I'm not here to defend Hakeem Jeffries at all. Get him. Get him twice. Keep on getting him. I don't care. Why would I care if you get Hakeem Jeffries? He's a liar and denier, and he's on a take. He's a sellout. It's obvious. But don't sit here like these two other people aren't sellouts too. This is choreographed. He's been chosen that they're gonna amputate Schumer and Jeffries and blame them for everything wrong in the Democratic Party. Then they're going to put in lesser people that talk a good rhetoric, and then what do? The same thing Hakeem and Schumer did. Because that's the game. And the only people that are going to call it out are going to be people like me who, if they have any way, they have their way, will stay so small of them. Even though we're saying real things, like this is something real, this is truthful, it won't get big enough to make enough people wake up. So they'll be able to still run the simulation to keep the lies going. Everybody keep dancing. But I hear babies crying. I hear people screaming. I keep dancing. Cut the music up. Hey guys, pass around. Give everybody some free wine. It's so nice. Free wine for everyone. And everybody just dances to the sounds. Play that funky music, white boy. And occasionally you'll hear a scream, ah! No! Please, please! Because that's what it is. It's a game, it's a scam, it's a charade. Democrats take money from AIPAC, so do Republicans. They're all corrupt, they're in cahoots with one another. It's the same thing with big pharmaceuticals. It's the reason why we do not have health care. It's the reason why we don't have free local college. It's the reason why all those big corporations were able to buy up all the houses. All the houses, Johnson. None of it is by accident. None of it. So now y'all see that Michael Jackson wasn't lying. They set him up. Now you see it. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm going all over the place. Look, Hakeem Jeffries. Next. I got nothing, Johnson.
Next up with Tim Black.
Does you worry about racism if you ran for president?
No. I know it exists. I know that you can't escape it, but I do not believe it is as prevalent as some on the left would like us to believe. I do believe a vast majority of Americans judge you on the content of your individual character rather than the color of your skin. I think a lot of people in America, especially in this day and age, now more so than ever before, it's not about race. It's about the fact that they don't give a damn about it because they got their own problems. That's entirely different than believing they are superior to you and they want to hold you back from ascending. That's not what's going on to the degree that it was decades ago. What's going on now is that we have more white Americans and others suffering and worried about the state of our nation. And because they're concerned about that, that's where their worries lie.
Hold on, let's stop.
Make no mistake.
This is a two-part series. This is two-parter here. Stephen A. Smith, man, I can't believe this guy's actually thinking about running for the presidency. This is going to be something, ain't it, fam? Wow, I love this. This is great. Listen, Stephen A. Smith says, hey, man, he would not be worried about racism. It's not going to impact him. And he's right. It's not going to impact him. Stephen A. Smith's going to sell out. It's going to help him. Like, white people, what do you need me to say about these Negroes over here? I'm so tired of them. Put down the damn weed, Blackie. He's going to say whatever he has to say to get MAGA voters who are liking him saying things that mean about Democrats, and then somehow come back and say he's a Democrat. It's the most, it's like a hat trick, baby. So yeah, Stephen A. Smith's not lying. Racism won't hurt Stephen A. He's going to be racist against black people, which is selling out. He says racism exists, but it's nowhere near like it used to be. Yeah, it's not like it's in the police force or the schools or the hospitals or government contracting or bank loans, and it's not like it's in, pretty much every major aspect of living in the United States. It's not like that. I mean, that's how it used to be. Now it's just on X or Twitter or TikTok. Does anybody really listen to Stephen A? Does he think before he talks, or he's just, what is it, man? Of course racism still exists, and of course it's everywhere it was before. It's just now there's a stigma to it. Some people have learned to go off the ground, but apparently some people are coming out from underground and being a lot more open and transparent with their racism. But typically, that's the type of racism that don't matter. It'd be like one person making a dumb video. Who cares? Annoying white guy on his train, about to get punched in the mouth by about 3 black guys. Fine. These are small prices. These are small levels or indicators of racism. The type of racism that I'm concerned with, the kind that, I don't know, suspends my daughter for wearing her hair as a black human being. That's a racism that hasn't got anywhere, Stephen A. It's a lot of racisms like that. Yeah, he says, and has to be the kicker. You know, he says, no, racism is not going to, it's not that it's racism like that. It's like, that doesn't exist anymore. These white people do not think that they're superior. No one thinks they're superior over anybody else because of race. And you know what? I don't believe him. I think he's wrong as hell. But forget what I think. Smart, honest white people don't believe him. Yeah, smart, honest white people know the deal. And they don't even have to be smart. Just white people that are honest. Man, you get a couple beers and a white guy that's completely full of shit, he'll tell you. He may not say he's racist, but he'll let you know, man, I was raised in a house, everybody hated blacks. My cousins hate blacks. My mama hates black. My sister hates black. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, they'll just tell you. They all know Stephen A's lying because they know people in real life who say very racist things all the time. But Stephen A, here he is up here. No one thinks that way. No one thinks about race. They just want to get ahead. And they're tired of hearing they got to focus on their own problems. And one of their problems is too many black people. It's too many insert name of minority people group. That's racism, Steve. Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun watching Stephen A. Smith try to run. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be entertaining. It'll be good for my content creation because Stephen A. Smith will say anything. This guy will say he's Eric Adams. Stephen A. is Eric Adams level. You know what I'm saying? With more words salad. But at the end of the day, it means nothing. But he says it with such conviction. You would think he meant something. He means nothing. Stephen ain't going there to get anything done for anybody. He's not trying to make anybody's life better. He's just a person that wants to say whatever he thinks he needs to say to win. That's it. That's all. And if that's what the Democrats want, well, have at it, Johnson. Have at it. That's all he's in it for. It is so obvious. It's so transparent. I would give Stephen A. this. At least he's real. You can tell he ain't about anything. He wants you to know he's not about anything. He doesn't try to pretend to care about anything. He will change his positions. What he thinks today, he won't think it tomorrow, and he'll admit that to you. Come on. He's empty. And he doesn't try to not be. He doesn't pretend to be for anybody or anything.
About it, we wouldn't have a border crisis under my watch. Hell no. We wouldn't have this crime that exists in the streets of New York. You wouldn't hear about me saying defund the police. We ain't defunding any police. I'm calling 911 when there's a problem. I know you're calling 911 when there's a problem. I'll be damned if I'm going to have less police officers out there. There's going to be more. That's me. I would focus on a flourishing economy and making sure we did everything we could, because I believe when you have something to lose, you know how to behave.
You said you know how to behave. I don't know if there's a level of, I don't know, coonery? the level of degrading Black Americans is something else on Stephen A, man. The guy is just, it is what it is. He's very, like I said, he's very open. Look, fam, you think Stephen A will be talking, you know he's talking about black people. That's what he's talking about. Black people know how to behave. You better behave. Master, I told him to behave. You want me to hit him again? I'll hit him again. Hit him again? I'll hit him again. I'm going to hit him again because I know you want me to hit him again. Stop hitting him? I was going to stop hitting him, but I thought you wanted me to keep hitting him till he learned to behave sometime. Sometime you blacks need to behave sometime. Stop talking back to Master when I told you not to talk back to Master. Man, if there are people watching Stephen A. Smith going, this guy would make a great president, no cooking, no being around a hot stove, no handling sharp objects, no driving, no kids, no procreation. For you, you need to just go to a farm and just sit out in the pasture in a chair like, I don't know, Sam Elliott in Landman, where he just sits in that chair, that wicker chair, and just looks at the horses. That's you. You need to just stare at horses in a field and touch no one. Stephen A. says he's not going to have any problems with immigration. Dude, are you going to bring in cheap labor or not? If you are, you're agreeing to have an immigration issue. If you're not, well, then say, hey, nah, we don't want any cheap labor. See, he's not standing for anything. That's my point. He doesn't have a plan. Hey, I want to rebuild this. I want to do this. No, he just wants to say, Stephen A., he's like a person who broke into the school. He broke into school. Before the computers, teachers used to keep the questions or answers in their desk and stuff. And I'd always hear stories about people that broke into the school and stole the answers to the questions or some, Well, Stephen A., before the cloud, before the internet, you could break into your teacher's desk and steal stuff. Stephen A. has broken into the Democratic teacher's desk or the Republicans' teacher's desk and stole the answers. The problem is he doesn't understand them. He can tell you what the answer is, but he can't tell you how to get to it, right? So he just knows answer to question B or 17A is this, but he doesn't know how he got it. And if you reword it, he's screwed. He gonna need to phone a friend like Chris Cuomo or Bill O'Reilly, Piers Morgan. He got to call somebody to figure it out because he doesn't know. He just knows this is the thing you need to say. So look, Stephen A. doesn't know anything, but he knows the answers to the questions because he stuck into the teacher's desk and he stole the answers. That's what Stephen A. has done. So he is screwed. The people that listen to him are tripping if they believe in this guy. I don't even think Stephen A. Smith believes in himself. You don't really think Stephen A. thinks he could be president, do you? You don't think that, do you? You can't think. You can't possibly imagine he's serious. How much proof is in that alcohol you are drinking? I think he's a joke, man. That's what I think. Gosh.
When you have something to lose, you know how to behave. If you have nothing, you have nothing to lose. And as a result, you're willing to tear down anything.
So what you're saying is you're going to give people stuff? The guy answered, this guy won't even ask a question. Is Steve, they going to give people stuff? Where we go?
Even if it's America, because you feel betrayed by a country that's supposed to be looking out for you and positioning you to thrive instead of wallow in misery and suffering. So, of course, I would pay attention to the economy. I would pay attention to all of those things.
Pay attention to it? No. I paid attention to it. You got gangrene. Why you didn't fix it? I was paying attention. I had a bullet in my back. Why you pull it out? Look, man, I paid attention to it. I saw you had a bullet in your back, and I was paying attention. I see it. I'm not ignoring you. Why you ain't help pull it out? I'm going to be paralyzed. I ain't quite figured that out yet. Yeah, he gonna give you the Charles S. Dutton Rock answer. I ain't quite figured that out yet. I don't know. That's Stephen A. Smith, man. And if you think that's your leader, if the Martians arrive tomorrow and ask you to take them to your leader, and you took them to Stephen A. Smith, they should turn their tasers at you immediately and shoot you into oblivion. They should eviscerate you. That's right. Deatomize you on the spot. Everybody's got a right to run. Everyone has the right to run, or everyone deserves the right to try to run. I don't know if you're going to be able to run, but Hey, Nick, man, it's a free country. Go do your thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that you make a stop by here on the Tim Black Show so we can talk, because I've been trying to get you to come on this show for a year. For a year, we've been reaching out to you. Just like Jazz and Crockett. And guess what? File 13. No one will let you come on. Once you come over and talk to a brother, because I'm going to ask you to elaborate on some of the dumb things you say, kooky person. You have to answer, Stephen A. This doesn't make sense. People want the American dream. What's that mean? What you gonna do? How you gonna make that happen? I'm gonna pay attention to the economy. Uh-huh. By doing what? And the guy answered questions, Costas. He didn't ask anything. What the hell? These people, man. These people are pathetic, man. That's it. Stephen A. Smith, man, stick to. And I know it's wrong to say it, man, but you are the reasons why. You are the reason why somebody said stick to something. Jesus, stick to. All those times they were telling athletes to stick to sports. And I bet on more than one occasion you told an athlete to stick to sports. Here you are, not sticking to sports talk. And now somebody did some polling or something, and yeah, we like the way Stephen A. calls out Democrats. Yeah, I bet you if we look and see, the people that like Stephen A. are Republicans. You look and see, it's going to be Republicans. And unfortunately, you won't be able to run as a Republican, so this is all fool's gold. You won't be able to run as a Republican because you're going to run against a Republican that's going to know issues and you're not going to know them. I don't know. Maybe you think he could pull a Donald Trump. I tell you, man, Donald Trump has created, he's the son of, Stephen A. Smith is the son of Donald Trump. He's a baby Donald Trump. He wants to be. And he just, in my opinion, he doesn't have that thing he needs. He needs to be Trump. And thank God for that, because we don't need another Trump. But don't worry. God broke the mold. All right, Johnson. All right.
Next up with Tim Black.
You're getting rid of $5.5 million to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex advocacy in Uganda, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I can't believe we're arguing about this. PEPFAR, we're not denying life-saving care to anybody, are we?
No, and $10 billion would remain for that funding.
Next up.
I almost want to respond to this with no comment, Johnson. Jesus Christ. What are we doing in Uganda helping the people, the different people with the different orientations? Hey, man, we got some broke-ass people in America that can use some help. Millions of dollars for these people to do what? Decide what piece of them they don't want to be, or add stuff or take away. How is this our problem? Why is my tax money going to help people figure out what gender they are in Uganda? We got people in America with problems or issues or concerns and different choices they want to make. Why don't we at least spend it on Americans who are trying to figure it out? Is that crazy? This is the type of thing USAID was doing. This is the type of thing USAID was doing. Oh, what can we do? We can't feed the crippled children of the Zimbabwe. Dog, a lot of that money was going to stuff like this too. All right? A lot of that money was going to stuff like this too. Promoting different lifestyles across the globe, and it got nothing to do with, as if, family, we got people living on the streets in America. We ain't got no money for that. But we can fund somebody wanting a sex change in Uganda. And if you say that, they want to cancel you. If you say that, they want to say that you are homophobic or transphobic or something phobic. And all I'm saying, if you don't say that, you're crazy, in my opinion.
With Tim Black.
The same would be true, let's say, here in Los Angeles around the homeless issue. I think morally, ethically speaking, it is an atrocity that in a country this wealthy we have people just on the streets. And we should have we should insist on policies that recognize their full humanity, people who are houseless, and be able to provide them the help and resources that they need. But we should also recognize that the average person, doesn't want to have to navigate around a tent city in the middle of downtown. And that we're not going to be able to build a working majority and support for the resources that we need to help folks like that, whether it's drug treatment or temporary housing or what have you. We're not going to be able to generate support for it if we simply say, you know what, it's not their fault, and so they should be able to do whatever they want, because that's a losing political strategy.
Next.
Yeah. When people look fondly back at the good old days with Obama, they forget that those good old days didn't exist. When I look at old clips, or this is a new clip, it reminds me of just how empty Obama was. He was always on the same side or the opposite sides, the same sides of the same issue, different sides. He was always triangulating and this way, we need to do something to fix it, but we can't be do too much to fix it because, those people who are upset about us trying to fix it, they got a point about us trying to fix things. But if we don't try to fix things, then who are we? I mean, really, who are we? We don't try to fix things. We got to try to fix things and make changes and make the country better because that's who we are. But what we are not are people that move too fast. Because if we move too fast, then things are getting fixed. What about other things that aren't being fixed? All of a sudden, you got all these people running around doing things that aren't fixing things and fixing things willy-nilly. And we waste a lot of time. And at the end of the day, we got to make sure we solve something. Got to get to the bottom of something. That's why I'm hanging out with Obama. And Obama's going to be hanging out with Beyonce and Jay-Z and Rihanna. We're going to go to Diddy's house and have a party. He's got all the baby oil all the way over there. We're going to go over there and have a good time. Because we got to get together. We got to stay together and make things work. Me and Big Michelle, we love you, man. Yeah, we love you. We're going to go to another Knicks game or Laker game or something. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to go to Richard Branson's, one of his islands, and we're going to have a good time, man. We're not going to think about poor people problems because think about poor people problems, that's a problem. That's a problem when you think about poor people problems. We need to not think about those problems and just enjoy our lives and spend it not helping people, because when you help people, you hurt people. Sometimes when you help them, you can't help but so much. You gotta leave room for people to die on their own. Some people gotta die, and if you don't let people die, then there's no room to walk your doggy. There's no room that you're driving and you're running over people. There are people in the way because there's too many people. So you gotta let some people go. It's tough making decisions about who the people are going to be. I say judge them by their Spotify playlist. If Chance the Rapper isn't on their Spotify with Mos Def, then I say, hey, gotta go. Right? Sometimes you gotta go because everybody can't be alive at the same time. We gotta take chances and we gotta take turns being alive. You had your time. Like Robert Duvall, he just died. He was 95. That's a long time. Somebody else should have been here. He's got to let it go. Gary Boosie's still here. Why is he hanging on? He's got to go. We got to make room for other people to, come in. We got to have new people. The Olsen twins, they haven't been anything in 15 years. They got to go. We can't have them sticking around living. We got to make room. And I'm glad to say that I've made a lot of money since I got out of that horrible job of being president, and now I get to enjoy myself and do things that none of you broke asses will ever be able to do. So when you're hating and throwing rocks at the sun, just remember, when the dog barks at the moon don't bark back, baby. Michelle, put some wings on Michelle. Put some wings. Yeah, put some wings and call up Rihanna. Tell her come by. These punk asses forgot how sick I am, you know? They forgot who I is. Yeah. The worst thing about Obama is he'll talk about a situation he could have fixed when he was in office or could have done something. Family, the problem in California has existed. It existed during 2008, 2016. It has existed his entire presidency. He gets out of power. Check it out, guys. Obama gets out of power. He's no longer president. Now he's got all these ideas. You know when's a good time to have ideas? When you have power to fix them. Now all of a sudden you and your wife are talking. Talking. All these ideas. Now, Michelle wants to make people understand how to live and love and all these things you're upset about in industries. But when she was first lady, all she wanted to do was tell you to put down the secrets. That's it. That's all she cared about was fat kids. Didn't care about anything else. One of the most frustrating things is that too many people look back and remember the Obama years because they were photoshopped. Dumb, they were photoshopped. They were carefully crafted. It was a curated news industry. The news content was curated. They only showed you the things they wanted you to see. They didn't want you to see people tortured down at Guantanamo Bay. They didn't want you to see we were deporting them like hotcakes. He didn't want you to see babies separated from their families. That was Obama. They didn't want you to see dismembered people at weddings. In the Middle East is dropping bombs, drone attacks, setting records, putting up Steph Curry best numbers. Setting records of killing people. They didn't want you to see any of it. And you didn't even look. And then when you heard the independent media like me were reporting on it, you said we were selling out. You said we hate ourselves. Instead of realizing we were holding people accountable for what they were doing. And you let him come back and talk again, and you're still defending one of the richest, most wealthiest, most powerful men in the world. Don't need you to defend him. You should be defending us. But instead, you defend them. You defend them. You think they're working for you. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it. If Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Oprah, Tyler Perry, any names, Nancy Pelosi, Trump, Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, the Congressional Black Caucus, if all these people were fighting for you, wouldn't you have won already? Huh? Wouldn't you have won already? Would there still be land in your water, dumbass? Would your air still be basically unfucking breathable? Huh? If all these people were working for you, wouldn't life be better? So either all of those people are incompetent as hell, or maybe they're not working for you. If you hired a landscaper and they came in the line looked the same way it looked before you hired them, you'd fire them like a 357 out a window. But not these people. Instead, you get mad when I walk by, look at your line and say, damn, dude, why you hire that guy? He didn't do shit for you. Instead of blaming the guy you paid to make the do the landscaping, you get mad at me. Pow, pow, pow. You shoot at me for pointing out the obvious. Your lawn looks like shit. And that's what's wrong with America.
Next up with Tim Black.
Come on, but go ahead.
So the one thing that I just want to talk about in Luke, make sure I say the name right, crop this part out. Okay. What Luke brought up was like accountability. Like, yes, we can talk about, you know, what our families did to us, all this, all that, but eventually, and I know why people try and say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you know, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired, and, you know, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about, like, you know, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how to
Can I say one more thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by
It's
this.
all right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me.
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues
I'm living
with.
it right the fuck now.
As I said, I said 60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
Y'all overtalk me.
I'm gonna fucking overtalk you
I'm
because
good,
you're fucking out
but
of
you're
line.
not going to disrespect
You don't know what the fuck you're
me.
talking
Oh, I
about.
am. I
just love it.
I do.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I do.
You can't.
I do.
You don't know it, nigga.
I do.
I'm good. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Get the fuck out of here. I'm living. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga. I'm living it right now. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know what's happening.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
No, but he's generalized. You can't. No, listen, bro. Let me stop. This is what it is. Let's get to the truth of this shit. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody who is on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loving all this time. That's what our parents have gone through, and that's why we all so fucked up right now.
You asked, how do we love black women?
Yeah.
That's right here. Trust black women and listen to black women because they know more than we do what it is that they need.
I don't think that's true either.
As
There's
men,
a lot of black women who don't know how to love.
I'm not talking about what they know how to love. I'm saying what they need as far as the reproduction.
I get that.
We're talking about, that's what we're talking about right now. Also, if we're going to use our privilege and power as men in society, how do we show up and be accountable, like you said?
Next up.
Man, why do we? It seems like we cater to this nonsense, man. All right, here we go, man. I've been married a long time, so I guess I can tell you this whole idea that we're talking about black women, what black women need. You don't know no one knows what black women need, you know, because black women are a lot of different women. There's a lot of black women. Women are individuals. Women are individuals. So I don't know what black women need. I know what my woman needs because we communicate. And we're on the same team. And my job is to be the best me that I can be towards her and to give her what she needs. And she reciprocates that. It ain't perfect, but that's the game. This idea that you could get together random guys who talk about women that they conjure up in their mind, and this is what women need from men. And, dog, you have no idea. In fact, a positive relationship, a good relationship's coming down to you and one other person. Y'all could be not good for each other. Y'all could be not a good match. Y'all could be not a compliment. Y'all could be like water and oil and be attracted to each other, but not have any of the, any of the attributes that complement one another to sustain any type of relationship that's not crazy as hell or isn't violent as hell. So this idea that anybody has that figured out. Everything's on such a case-by-case basis that I find all this content like repetitive and basically a crapshoot. If I could, I hear Clifton Powell, I have to agree. We learn what we learn from our parents. many of us are grossly underprepared for reality and not outfitted with the tools we need to go out into the world. And just like everybody else, everybody has to learn, hopefully, as they go. And unfortunately, they learn on each other. We learn on one another what to do and what not to do. Some of us never learn it because some of us needed therapy a long time ago. But you get what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So I don't know if that's a perfect answer, but it's closer to reality. So, you know, my parents were brought up in Jim Crow. My parents came up in the 50s and the 60s. So their outlook on America, on life, was totally different than my outlook growing up in the 70s and 80s, right? So it is what it is. There's a different time, a different place, a different roles that, back then it was very important for women to not have to work if we can make it possible. My mom did not have to work outside the home. That was a goal of the family. That's the structure of the family at the time, and things have changed in the 80s. It's all about women getting their own careers and going out and doing their own thing. And we was all watching a different world, and we all had a certain vision of what was right. We watched The Cosby Show. I remember watching The Cosby Show thinking, I want to be a fun dad like Bill Cosby. I wanted to be that type of dad. I saw him with his kids, and I didn't know it was just a show. I mean, I knew it was a show, but I thought that's how life could be. And sometimes it is when it's at its best. Sometimes it is like the Bill Cosby Show. I am fun and light, but then there's sometimes where I have to be a tough guy. Sometimes I have to be, I have to dictate. I have to run things. I have to, when there's a strange knocking outside at night, it's that time to make jokes. It's time to go check the noise outside. When someone knocks on the door, we don't know. I need to be the one they see when they open it. Okay, these are my people, and I'm protective. So anyway, we have all different types of roles to play. Shout out to Clifton Cloud for dealing with this guy who obviously has, I believe that the guy who was going at Clifton, who was basically taking a shot at Clifton Powell, seemed like he got parent issues, he got daddy issues. He said it initially, but what he said was so triggering to Clifton, the guy had just said he don't do well with the older blacks. He just said he estranged from his family. And he sees Clifton as a representation of that. You can see that. Clifton's not one to bite his tongue, so he let his ass have it. Yeah. Black women are tired. Man, everybody's tired. Black men are tired too. We're all tired. This society makes everyone tired, fam. I think Latinos and Asians and Native Americans and white folks are all tired. Anybody who works for a living is tired. A lot of us are in a rat race. And at the end of the day, we get old enough to realize, what was it all for? None of it goes with you, right? You can't do shit with it. And even if you love your kids, they still got to run their own race and live their own lives, no matter what you want for them. There's no guru that can tell you what you need to know to have a great relationship. Maybe start by being the best person you can be. How about that? How about being a whole human being who works on their own problems and flaws and faults, and focus on that? Because the better you are, the better you'll be to someone else. That's it. And don't tolerate disrespect. Don't put up with BS from anybody. But be loving and caring and understanding. But always remember, there's no two-seater caskets. One size. All right, let's keep going. I think I got one more. Remember, guys, this is the Tim Black Show. We do this on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You know how to go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the show. Shout out to my moderators for keeping it up. We got one more story to go, I think. And Buck Bewley, Ebony, and Black Mamba are doing it or holding it down in the comments. I got a great group of people, man, supporting this show. So thank y'all for what y'all do. Let's keep it going, fam.
With Tim Black.
It so happens that I happen to be the president's favorite person. It just so happens to be that the governor just last week decided that he was going to invest over $1 million.
See, when I point out that Jasmine Crocker's claim to fame is picking fights with Trump, and he responded, and there are people that get mad when I say that. This is her speech. She's running to be a senator. And what is she saying? It's about her, and she's Donald Trump's favorite person. I don't know who advises her, man. I don't know who told her this is good. I don't know if she's winging it or she wrote that down. But when I hear it, I don't hear, I'm here to make black people's lives better. I'm here to make Americans' lives better. I'm a serious person. I'm not ego tripping. I'm not here to be a celebrity. I'm here to fight the fight. I'm going to fight for my people. We going to win or we going to die trying. She don't sound that way. She sound like a self-serving jackass. But I know it's just me. I'm weird. I think that. I think because a person that keeps pointing out, Trump don't like me, see, so I must be good, is a person that really don't mean good. That's why people say she sounds self-serving. Why? Because she sounds self-serving.
$1 million into the Texas Senate race. Last time I checked, he's not running for the Texas Senate. I'm here to tell you that they're afraid of you. They're afraid of your voices. And what I want you to do is I want you to remind them that they had every reason to be afraid. Because you, the people, have the power. Because you, the people, are not crazy. Because you, the people, are going to hold them accountable. DC is full of cowards. Everywhere I look, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it's on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, because they weren't cursing at Trump, saying F you, Trump, and telling him he's a piece of shit. Yeah, because we don't know that's what makes you courageous. Fam, there's so many other ways to be courageous in this world that are a lot less showy and a lot less, I don't know, viral for a public servant to do. I know.
People are scared. They don't want to face the type of hate that I get on a daily basis. But the reality is that when you sign up for...
See? Me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, you. But me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. I'm a servant who does that. I don't even want to go any further with it because all I'm going to do is find things she says. I'm going to point them out. You're going to get mad because you love her because she's brown. And she talk like your niece or your daughter or your mother or somebody. And you are so, it's so comfortable and it's so comforting, comfortable, pleasant. No, it's normal. There's somebody's just gaslighting big mouth auntie that talks shit. Never really did anything with it, but just talked. Be all upset. Who took all the female crabs? Those are mine. Who did that? Did you renege again? You can't play no damn spades. Why'd you park that way? You can't drive. Horrible driver. You can't drive for shit. Everybody's had one of those aunts in their life, man. Great at being loud, but what do we get? What do we get? Not a great cook. Just okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let her keep going, man, because some people They disagree. So let's go.
For service. If you believe in taking care of the people that put you into power, then you've got to do that. I stand here only as a product of those that were willing to give their lives, and frankly, some did. So when they go after people in the middle of the street and they kill them as if they are dogs, it is time for all of us to stand up. This isn't about one group of people defending the immigrant population. This is about us being unified. If they can attack one of us, they can attack all of us. This is the problem.
Anybody who's been defending Jasmine Crockett in my timeline, you need to apologize to me. You owe me an apology. You really do. I mean, imagine the arrogance to be in Texas. Texas, 200 Texans died at the hands of police in the penal justice system. I haven't heard Jasmine Crockett talk about it not one time. Actually, I think the number was 178. It's a little less than 200. She keeps talking about those two people that died in Minnesota, though, as if that happens all the time. There have been 32 deaths in ICE custody, and we keep hearing about the two in Minnesota. Did she talk about the sister that was DeCarla Thompson, who was thrown off a bridge by an undocumented person here in D.C., in my town? Actually, Maryland. No, she didn't talk about that. There are countless other deaths of people that have occurred. I'm just saying, man, it's like they just cherry pick whatever narrative they want to run with. You know, ICE and police are the same thing. They're police. And police, people be dying with police. People be dying, running from cops. People be dying, not listening to cops. I covered several stories. I still fail to see the difference between you driving away from a cop and getting shot, whether it's an ICE cop or a sheriff. I've covered these stories. I never said it was good. I've always been critical of cops when they shot into moving vehicles, whether it was a black American, male, underage, unarmed, or if it was a 37-year-old white woman. Same thing. But I want to know why is it so different to Jasmine Crockett? Only reason why it's so different to Jasmine Crockett that now we got to get rid of the ICE, but we don't need to get rid of police, right? It's just because it's a political play. And that's what frustrates me, fam. We got cops doing police work all the time where these things happen. And no one talks about abolishing the police. I'm not saying they should, but I'm saying it just goes to show it's all narrative, it's all rhetoric, it's all just something to say. Because the numbers are not even close, fam, to what's happened to American citizens. You don't think regular cops shoot people when they drive off? Yeah. You don't think other people get shot by cops when they get into Teslas or different? I mean, I've covered it multiple times on this channel. Yeah. So it is what it is. And I don't even know why Jasmine Crockett's talking about that. Right? That didn't happen in Texas. Why is she even discussing it? Sounds to me like Jasmine Crockett doesn't have a whole lot to say, and she's getting a whole lot of money to not talk even about shit that impacts Texas. She should be talking about Texas issues that I don't even know about. Because that's what she's running to represent. And why she... Anyway, guys, look. It is what it is. I guess some people, that's what they are. I'm gonna let it go. I don't want to cover it no more. I'm out of gas. I don't want to have a conversation anymore. I'll wait till she does something else crazy. It's just a shame people can't see through the nonsense. I'm not saying Tallarico's better. I really don't know if he's better or not. I really don't. He may be worse, actually. I have no idea, fam. I know the black guy who was running, who dropped out for Jasmine, is now saying Tyler Rico's racist. Was he racist before you dropped out for Jasmine? I don't recall you saying it. I don't know. It just seems like every time I turn around, it's the same old playbook. Democrats use blackness, but then when black people try to use blackness to get Democrats to do shit, all of a sudden they don't want to do it. But they love using it to help themselves, but they don't do it to actually help us. And that's a problem. I mean, for me it is. But not for the Democrats. All right, fam, let's go to the comment section, man. We're done for the night. Gosh. Anybody in the house? Gosh. Jasmine Crockett. Krokov. Her district is in shambles. Probably not. I don't know. I wish I could just. There it is. They very quickly got off Mr. Porter's shooting in California. You know what, Jorge, man, I listened to, bruh, it's been so hard to get any information out of it. You know, I covered it. It's like nobody cared about the video. I think maybe YouTube suppressed it. I did 2 segments on it, and I was frankly disappointed, man, that, I don't know, man, maybe, you know what it is? Maybe people are tired of black pain and suffering. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like, I don't know, man, maybe it's just like traumatized, like they're tired of seeing it and nothing changes. And I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. Or either maybe the YouTube algorithm just don't like those videos because the Democrats are not in power. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You want to be what? Metamorphosis. I want to be Robin Hood, steal from the politics and give to the people, man, I tell you. Yeah. None of them talked about Takara. That's it. Takara Thompson. Yeah, man. I just did a follow-up on it. Just because it's disgusting, isn't it, man? Miss Kitty, isn't it disgusting how that got no play? Now, you know, I remember when there was a young white girl who went to Summer University. Remember this? This was back around the time Trump got elected. And she was killed jogging by an undocumented person. Man, they passed legislation and all that shit. Yeah, they passed legislation and what have you for her. It was a lot to do, but no such thing for this sister, Dakara. It was like, you couldn't pay Democrats to talk about it because they wanted to defend undocumented people. So undocumented people could do whatever they wanted to do because they didn't want to highlight anything that was happening. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Disgusting, fam. But Patrice O'Neal said it best, didn't he? This is what I've been saying. Cops are cops, a badge is a badge, a gun's a gun. Yep, that's what I'm saying. And there's going to be incidents, and there are a lot of incidents. And all I'm saying is they love to see the difference is people are not telling American citizens to go out and tangle with the NYPD. Fam, here goes. Thank you, Big Mama. Big Mama, check this out. With all the shit that happens in the LAPD and the NYPD and different police departments, you don't think there wouldn't be a lot more violence if American citizens or if New Yorkers started going out harassing the NYPD? You don't think it would be a lot of carnage in the streets if American citizens or Californians didn't start going, if they went out and start messing with the LAPD? If you put a battery in the back of citizens and they went out and started picking with the cops, I don't care what city, what state you in. Get what I'm saying? That's what they've been doing with ICE. And then when things kick off, they go, see? What I tell you? Fam, if you was in New York messing with NYPD the way they mess with ICE, bodies, 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 bodies. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, fam. It'd be way worse. Man. These people are tripping. Investigate who you're going to investigate. Bring people, bring bad cops to justice. All that good stuff. I support that all day. It's just a lopsided reporting. And the fact I can see through it for what it really is, I got to call it out. That doesn't mean if your child is hurt or if your spouse is hurt or your parents are hurt by anybody in law enforcement, it's a problem. My problem is that is happening every day. It's happening right now. But if it's not ICE, no one talks about it. That's my problem. And it is happening. It's happening everywhere. It's happening at a little bar somewhere right now in Nashville. There's an overly pissed off cop somewhere right now, sucker punching the shit out of somebody. Right now, dragging somebody by their hair out of the bar or something right now. And guess what? Not being shown, not being talked about, because they're only talking about things that fit a certain type of narrative in order to help a certain political agenda. That's it. That's all I'm pointing out. You know it to be true. You have to realize that. You know, when Bad Bunny was at the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl content spiked. People were watching it, right? Because it was Super Bowl time and Bad Bunny was performing. Now you can pay people to want to watch a video about Bad Bunny. Why? Because it's no longer the narrative. That's all I'm pointing out. We've been on one thing. The Democrats have been on one note for the last 12 months. Undocumented immigrants. Nothing else matters. And then they wonder why Black Americans said screw them. You haven't been prioritizing Black Americans. Democrats gave up on working class whites a long time ago and ceded that to Republicans. It wasn't always that way. You do realize this, right? Once upon a time, Democrats had working class unions. They had those people in their camp. They gave that up and started chasing the Black Lives Matter money and the progressive money and the LGBTQ money. That's what happened. So the working class whites and the unions kind of did a toss-up. They would go either way, right? These are the trends. This is what happened. I said, I'm done, man. Yeah, look, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you for watching this show. Hit the like button on the content. Let the algorithm know you enjoyed tonight's show. I try to tell you, Johnson, it has been something else. But at the end of the day, the receipts, they are brutal. And it's our job to call them out. Go to jointimblack.com, become a member of this show. What else can I tell you? We'll keep the hits coming. I'll see you soon. Thank you for being moderators. Thank you for being listeners. Continue, please, to share the content on your social media. We're doing big numbers. We're pushing it. We're working hard. And let's see if we can do some damage. All right. Now, look, as always, you got to be bold. You got to be courageous. But most of all, stay dangerous. Right here on the Tim Black Show, everybody's got reasons for doing what they do. I know you got your reasons. Your family, you got personal goals. I get it. My reasons are simple, and I wear them on my sleeve, Johnson. My babies. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Not you, Jasmine Crockett. Mine.